landed out from Memphis, boys, $2 and a dime. When I landed in on Hazard, boys, I did not have a shine. God knows I've been all around this world.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for this episode of Been All Around This World, a podcast exploring the life's work of folklorist Alan Lomax. My name is Nathan Salzberg, curator of the Alan Lomax Archive at the Association for Cultural Equity and your host. For those unfamiliar and interested in becoming more familiar, an easy way to impart a sense of Lomax's influence and context is to rattle off a list of some of the now famous artists who made their first recordings with him. Artists who went on to have profound effects on traditional and popular music alike in America and around the world. Artists like Leadbelly, whom he recorded with his father, John A. Lomax, in 1933, Woody Guthrie in 1940, Honey Boy Edwards and Muddy Waters, who he met with Lewis Jones and John Work in 1941, Bessie Jones and Mississippi Fred McDowell with Shirley Collins in 1959. But while this gives a sense of Lomax's own context and influence, it naturally overlooks all the utterly obscure singers and players who sat down in front of his microphone. Folks who drifted out of the mists just long enough to record a song or two, and who in some cases have gone unidentified till this day. So we're going to dedicate this episode of Been All Around This World to some of those voices. In some cases we know their names and not much more. In others we can just say confidently where and when they made their recordings. Either way, they made phenomenal music deserving of our attention and praise. After all those first things that Alan Lomax accomplished wouldn't make a bit of difference if he hadn't managed to capture not just the staggering diversity and quantity of music that he did, but the quality of so much of it. And that goes for the music of unidentified singers from Mississippi to Morocco just as much as it does for Bessie Jones or Leadbelly. Fundamentally, it's a testament to the abiding artistry native to every locale, to every tradition, and that's what cultural equity is about. Here's as good a place to start as any, with a beautiful unaccompanied sacred performance by a young woman at the Coahoma County Agricultural High School in the Mississippi Delta, recorded by Alan Lomax and Lewis Jones in July 1942. The singer is presumably in her late teens or early 20s. Her name went either unrecorded or has been lost. We do know that the song was composed by her sister, 26-year-old Annie Mae Morris, in 1937. The singer told Lomax this was the only song her sister ever composed. It's called All Power in His Hands. Thanks for listening.
Rose and all power is in his hand. Why rose and all power is in his hand. While the world can't make me doubt him, I know too much about him. For he rose and all power is in his hand. This world is not my home. I'm only a stranger here. I have heard of a city called heaven, and I'm trying to make it there. For he rose and all power is in his hand. For he rose and all power is in his hand. Well, the world can't make me doubt him. I know too much about him. For he rose and all power is in his hand. Sometimes here I get weary and I lonely to go on. But oh Lord, have mercy, all of my work is not done. But I'm glad that I can labor till Jesus called me home. For he rose and all power is in his hand. For he rose and all power is in his hand. Well, the world can't make me doubt him. I know too much about him, for he rose and all power is in his hand. He rose one Sunday morning, just about the break of day, said all power in heaven and earth is trusted in my hand. Oh, grave, where is your victory? Oh, death, give me the stare. For he rose and all power is in his hand. For he rose and all power is in his hand. Well, the world can't make me doubt him. I know too much about him. For he rose and all power is in his hand. That was good.
Crawford's Jump, a tune composed by guitarist and singer Cecil Augusta in late September 1959 in Memphis, Tennessee. We know nothing at all about Augusta except what Lomax wrote on the tape box, that he was 39 years old and was either originally from or currently living in Williston, Tennessee, east of Memphis. And before Augusta, we heard an unidentified woman who lived in Clarksdale in the Mississippi Delta, singing a song composed by her sister, whose name we do know, Annie Mae Morris, at the Coahoma County Agricultural High School in 1942, a recording made by Alan Lomax with Louis Jones. Speaking of firsts and of Mississippi, the first Delta blues that Lomax ever recorded wasn't in Mississippi, or for that matter, in Arkansas, where these next musicians were from, but in Detroit. At the tail end of his long trip through Michigan in late summer and early fall of 1938, Alan stopped in Detroit to visit a bluesman named Calvin Frazier, whom he'd met when he passed through town earlier that August. Frazier was a musical associate of Robert Johnson and Johnny Shines, whom he'd met at juke joints in the Helena, Arkansas area in 1930. The trio had come north together on an ad hoc tour in 1935. When they reached Detroit, Frazier stayed. There, he had taken up with Samson Pittman, another Arkansas bluesman who had relocated from his home in Blytheville to the city sometime in the early 30s. Virtually nothing is known about Pittman past his hometown and the fact that he had spent some time on a levee camp or two before coming north. He gave details of that experience in a long, half-spoken, half-sung levee camp story, as Lomax identified it, with guitar accompaniment by Calvin Frazier, as well as this next piece called I've Been Down in the Circle Before, which I think will speak for itself. This is Samson Pittman with Calvin Frazier on guitar, recorded in Detroit, Michigan on November 1st, 1938. You're listening to Been All Around This World.
Boy, there ain't no need of trying to tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing about the circle because, not Lake Cornea Circle, because I work for every contractor up and down the line. And I know just exactly what they'll do and how the ears see. That's why you hear me say, I ain't no stranger. You can't tell me nothing. I've been down there lots of times. I worked on a levee long time ago. It ain't nothing about the levee camp, boy, that I don't know. Partner, 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 don't you think I know? Said I ain't no stranger, been down in a circle before. Now there ain't but the one contractor, the levee that I feel. Your Bull and George Millen, they don't lie back here. Partner, 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 don't you think I know? Said I ain't no stranger, I've been down in a circle before. Now there's Mr. Forrest Jones, ain't so long and tall. He killed a mercy man and he loved to kill us all. Partner, 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 don't you think I know? Said I ain't no stranger, I've been down in a circle before. Play it one time, play it. Charlie Loran is the mercy man, the best contractor partner that's up and down the line. Partner, 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 don't you think I know? Well, I ain't no stranger, I've been down this circle before. Now when you leave out to Kellner, on Highway 44, the first camp you get to, it is called Rainy Moe. Partner, 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 don't you think I know? Said I ain't no stranger, been down in a circle before. I ain't gonna kiss on, I ain't gonna break down. Breaking down, wheel'll get a man all down in his bag. Partner, 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 don't you think I know? Said I ain't no stranger, I've been down in a circle before. I have a friend in Arkansas, tell me what to do. I told him come to Arkansas, I told him no, no, no. Partner, 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 don't you think I know? Said I ain't no stranger, I've been down in Arkansas before. Goodbye.
That was a recording made in 1964 in the southern Transylvanian village of Draish, where Lomax visited on the advice of musicologists at the Institute for Ethnography and Folklore in Bucharest. Lomax stopped in Romania on his way home from the International Anthropological and Ethnological Congress in Moscow in 1964. That recording is especially great as it features some vigorous trumpet accompaniment, although the singers and the trumpeters' names were not recorded. That followed a performance by Samson Pittman, accompanied by Calvin Frazier on the guitar, something called I've Been Down in the Circle Before, recounting some of his levee camp experiences in the Mississippi Delta between Arkansas and Mississippi, recorded in Detroit, Michigan on November 1st, 1938. You're listening to Been All Around This World, our episode devoted to wonderful performances by singers about whom little or nothing is known. And it is my great privilege to introduce the next song to you, one of my absolute favorites in the Lomax collections or anywhere else for that matter. It's one of several performed by a woman named Alice Gibbs. From the Caribbean island of Sint Eustatius, or Statia as it's known locally, a tiny Dutch special municipality where Lomax stopped in 1969 after visiting and making some recordings in the Dominican Republic. We have no idea what brought him here, only that he found himself at some kind of a house party where the assembled sang children's rhymes, wailing songs, and Christmas carols, and where he had the tremendous fortune of meeting Gibbs. She sang several lyric songs of British derivation, presumably brought over to Statia, although who knows when, by some British naval or merchant ship. The most wonderful of all of them is her take on the ballad of I Am a Donkey Driver, also known as Jerusalem Cuckoo. Variants of this turn up all over England, Scotland, and Wales, and it relies on a bit of Cockney rhyming slang, to wit, a moke, which is a dialect word for a donkey, rhymes with Jerusalem artichoke. It's unclear whether Alice Gibbs accompanies herself on guitar, but she certainly gets help on the choruses, as you'll hear. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed the song an eighth as much as I do.
I am a donkey thrower, the best upon the line. There is no donkey on the road to be compared with mine. It speaks of old Jerusalem and other donkeys too. No donkey on the road to beat my Jerusalem. Oh, shout, shout, boys, hurrah! Your troubles are but few. No donkey on the road to beat my Jerusalem. I took my donkey one day just across the British land. Early she got upon his back across the British land. The donkey he got excited, and of this lady he drew. All along the bank you could hear the cry of my Jerusalem. Cuckoo, shout, shout, boys, hurrah! Your troubles are but few. No donkey on the road to beat my Jerusalem. Cuckoo. My donkey, she is a beauty, though her color is rather pale. She has splendid ears for music with her pretty curly tail. You only has whistle. She knows just what to do. Oh, no donkey on the road to beat my Jerusalem cuckoo. Shout, shout, boys, hurrah! Your troubles are but few. No donkey on the road to beat my Jerusalem cuckoo. Now I am contented, not a word of cross to say. After I get my flask of gin and my donkey gets her hay, and if I should kick the bucket, I'll tell you what to do. Just lay me down, let me die beside my Jerusalem cuckoo. Shout, shout, boys, hurrah! Your troubles are but few. No donkey on the road to beat my Jerusalem cuckoo. Thank you.
Lord have mercy, Alice. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
A brief but wonderful tune, played by musicians only identified as two Acadians on guitar and violin. Also identified as a Cajun waltz, but more appropriately, according to Dr. Josh Caffrey in his book Traditional Music in Coastal Louisiana, it's a mazurka, recorded in the Vermilion Parish town of Kaplan in South Louisiana by John A. Lomax and his 18-year-old son Alan in 1934. And before that, we heard the tremendous Alice Gibbs in her 1969 performance of Jerusalem Cuckoo on the tiny Caribbean island of Sint Eustatius. In this episode of Been All Around This World that we're devoting to unsung or undersung or altogether unknown performers. Miss Gibbs especially, we've tried and failed to find any actionable intelligence on her. We hope that she's alive and well, and wherever she is still singing Jerusalem Cuckoo. We're going to wrap up this episode with a brief recording of an unidentified elderly Amazigh man in Ouarzazate, Morocco, singing a prayer of thanksgiving. This has Been All Around This World, a presentation of the Association for Cultural Equity, culturalequity.org. You can find the digital Alan Lomax archive there, and also represented on all relevant social media platforms and through Bandcamp and YouTube. If you're not already a subscriber to our program, we invite you to become one through iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, and most other reputable podcast distributors. Thanks for listening. We hope to have you next time. Take care.
اي قسبعي اي والله اوت القدار اوت الغدار اي والله سيدي ربي والله الحمد لله
Very, very, bravo.